Hello and welcome to another edition of For the Record. I'm Sean Murphy. My guest today is going to make you sweat. Not really, but we are going to talk wellness, fitness. Annabelle Montalbano. She's wellness coordinator and also the lead group instructor for Westerly Fitness, correct?
Correct.
Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show.
Thank
because you
you.
were on not too long ago for one segment for us. But now we have a whole show just for you and for your workout partners who will check in the second segment. So, a buzzword these days is wellness. What is wellness?
No, wellness is probably, it's grown, it's evolved. We were talking about evolution a moment ago. You're very evolved.
Well, I said that, and you disagreed.
Yeah, I disagreed.
Most people do. So.
But I think it has evolved in the whole concept around wellness. And right now what wellness means is looking at a person's entire being and seeing exactly what they need to lead a healthier and more fit life. So when you talk about wellness, you're talking about an entire picture of the person. You know, what is their lifestyle like, their work conditions, family conditions, their diet, their sedentary life, their workouts if they have any, where they're at right now. And what we do in the fitness industry right now, hopefully what everyone is doing, is looking at everyone as an individual and trying to help them to lead better lives all around. So we're looking at someone's overall well-being. It's being well. So sometimes you see that word separated, and sometimes you put it together. But when you really think about it, it's all about your being well.
It's very all-encompassing,
Yes.
isn't it? It's not about, sometimes you may say wellness. What does that mean? Like how much you work out? Nope, that's only a very small part of it.
It's a very small, actually it's a very, very small portion. The biggest thing that we look at in the fitness industry is really what the person's lifestyle is like and their dietary intake. And one of the things that we work with at Westerly Fitness, everyone has a misconception about working out with trainers and we're going into a gym that we're going to put them on a diet. A lot. And we don't do that at Westerly Fitness. We look at your overall diet as one of the components and help you to change it into a healthier one. We don't want you to restrict your food. We want to change what you're taking in with your food.
Another not buzzword, but words that have either negative or positive connotations this day, and one word that's sort of fallen out of favor is the term gym, and fitness has kind of replaced it. Gym sort of has a negative connotation where it's a bunch of muscle-bound guys hogging, you know, space for the mirror and, you know, a bunch of lunkheads, whereas fitness seems much more all-inclusive for the whole family. Guys, girls, the family, anybody at any ability level.
Absolutely.
And it's much more of a positive word to use. Do you agree?
I do agree. I think, you know, as time goes on, there are certain words that fall out of favor with the public. And it only takes something negative to happen somewhere for that word to be associated with a negative factor as opposed to a positive factor. And when you look at gym, you're 100% correct. People have in mind the lunkheads.
Right.
You know, the guys that come in and say, I lift weights and put them down. You know, and it's not who we are anyway. And if you go to any fitness facility, what you want to look for is the atmosphere. What atmosphere do you feel in there? If you're intimidated by being in there just one day and looking around you and feeling, I really don't feel like I belong here, you're probably correct in that sense. And it's not that you don't belong there, it's that you may not be in the correct place to get the right help.
You know, and on that note, for a while, and maybe some places still do this, but not so much, some gyms would create a section just for women because they would feel a little intimidated being out in the regular or just were uncomfortable with their bodies, so they would have a separate section. But then I think places sort of adopted the mentality, you know, be together, don't be ashamed, and just don't segregate one segment.
Absolutely.
Do you agree with that?
I do agree, and personally I have a lot of experience with that because I used to own an all-women's gym. And, you know, when we had to close the business down. We worked with a franchise, and we kind of had that whole, I don't know if you remember when Tim Hortons, they all closed abruptly. The same thing happened to us.
Wow.
It was more of, you know, the corporate office calling you and saying, hey, by the way, we're pulling all marketing, we're pulling all support. You just get pulled.
You're on your own.
You're on your own.
Right.
And what I did was, when I closed my gym, I made a deal with a competitor who had in the gym a private room for women. But what I found was that because they segregated that population from the normal gym population, they weren't really taken care of. They were like, you know what, you want to be in there, you want to be on your own. They didn't get any help.
You really will be on your own.
Yeah, you really will be. And the equipment wasn't up to par. And it was just not a very motivating environment. And when I began working for Westerly Fitness, I really wanted to make it a point that I wanted women to feel comfortable in any part of the gym, in any part of it. We didn't have any taglines like, we don't care if you walk in or roll in. That's not who we are.
Right.
It's not what you would want to find in any gym facility. You want to be able to go in and feel welcome and feel confident that the people that are working there are going to have your back. And if they have your back and they welcome you in and they bring you in, then you're going to feel like, I belong here. It shouldn't matter if you're on a line of treadmills and you're in between two fit people. Because outside of those fit people are people that are your size, beginners, young, middle age, old. Everyone that comes into our gym is there to work out and to get fit and healthy.
It's a good point, because there's the mentality of some people that feel like they're embarrassed to be at the gym. They don't feel like they're ready to even be at the gym. It's almost like they have to get in better shape to go to the gym. Am I right about that?
I get that all the time. I get people.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah, and it's not something that is just predominant with women. It's with men too.
Yeah.
Especially men that are over the age of 35, that they feel a little bit more insecure when they're out of shape.
Because the gym might be full of younger guys in there and everything.
And they literally feel like, well, I haven't come to the gym because I think I need to lose a little bit of weight. And my answer, all of us, is say, no, you come to the gym to get help, so we can help you lose weight the right way. And I think we're breaking that barrier at Westerly Fitness, because when people walk into the gym and we give them a tour, they're like, everybody here is working out and they're happy. Why? You have to build that atmosphere. It's up to the owner. It's up to the employees. It's up to them to make everyone feel like they belong there. You're in the right place.
And by the way, when you're working out, and especially after a short while when you start seeing success, they're happy because there's some endorphins rolling around up there, right? I mean, that's a fact.
It's a complete scientific fact.
Yeah.
You know, when you exercise and you're utilizing the right muscles in your body, you're taking in the right nutrition, a great thing happens. Those endorphins start flying and energy starts flying and you feel happier. And everyone gets into that. It happens in the first like 6 to 8 weeks of a gym membership.
Because you start seeing results, right?
Well, you feel that gym high.
Right.
Where it doesn't matter if you're not losing weight immediately, you're automatically feeling more energy. And you're sleeping better, and you're more alert, and you're thinking more clearly. You're driving, and you're not slouching into your seat. You know, how you drive, and you go to stop sign, and suddenly you're like, whoa, I'm shrinking like a turtle. I'm going into my own neck. You know, you even for a lot of people, I say, everyday tasks, just like 3 weeks later, washing dishes, making your bed, going up and down the stairs, you know, getting in and out of the shower. Those are going to seem so much easier, and you're going to understand when it happens. Mm-hmm. So I let them know to look for those. And about a month later, they always come back and say, oh my God, you're absolutely right. I'm more aware of how I stand. I'm more aware of certain things. And they may not be losing as much as they want to immediately, because everybody wants to lose weight yesterday.
Right.
They don't want to work for it. But if you teach them appropriately and give them enough information, they understand that it doesn't happen yesterday.
Right.
Your habits that got you to me in the first place didn't happen overnight.
Right. You didn't put it on right away, and you're not going to be able to take it off right away.
So we have to help people unlearn what they learned and got them to this place in the present moment.
And it's true. Just getting started is the toughest part, because all that stuff that we just talked about, that good feeling of some sense of accomplishment, even if it's early on, you did something that you haven't done, which is be active.
Yes.
And so it's a domino effect, and then you kind of want to keep going back.
And it's up to the staff of a gym to really let the people know how well they're doing. So if somebody comes in, and even if maybe they've only been there for 3 weeks, they're brand new members, I will say to them, 3 weeks and look how many times you've come in. Those little bits of positive reinforcement that lets them know that we're watching them. And if they know that we're watching them, they feel more secure in knowing that they're going to be fine.
And if they ask, you'll give them a little nudge, maybe a phone call if you don't see them.
Absolutely.
Just going, hey,
Yeah.
yeah, just letting you know.
We
you
send
know?
emails. We
Yeah.
send emails out. Mike Volpe, the owner of Westerly Fitness, is very customer oriented, and he's always thinking of new ways to reach out to people through email, through our website or whatever, that lets them know that, hey, we know you haven't been here in about a month, and we want you back in. And he's even gone as far as emailing people and calling them and saying, what can we do to get you back on track? I've got some trainers that are volunteering their time to offer you a free fitness consultation to get you back in.
Because let's be honest, there's a lot of places that once they sign you up and they're getting the $20 a month or whatever, and it's all on you to go in. If you don't ever go in again, they don't care
It is.
until your contract expires or
And
whatever.
we were just talking about that on the way down here, how we're really, as someone who's been in the business for a long time, I like to explain to staff or instructors or even club members that have succeeded, this is how it works and why it works. When you have a lot of gyms that we were just talking about that, so funny, they have that $10 membership. And what they want is to get about 1,000 people at $10 a month. Why? Because the person that pays $10 a month will go for a little while, then they kind of fall off the edge because there's nobody really supporting them or motivating them to go back in. So 3 years later, you're paid $10 a month and you don't go.
No, and they don't really care.
It's only $10.
You're right, it's only 10. It's no big deal if I don't go.
It's
Yeah.
only $10.
But do the math.
Yeah, and that's not what a fitness place should be focusing. They should be focusing on results, because that's what's going to get people to notice you and say, if they help that person, they can help me too, because they see themselves in that person. That is me. They've gone through the same struggles. They've had the same experience. They've had the same ups and downs. So if they're getting help and they're succeeding, maybe that can be me too.
Before we take a break and go into our next segment, which will be a demonstration segment, the two people that you have from your gym, they both have stories, and they were
Yes.
there was specific reasons why they were selected to do. By the way, the demonstrations are going to be very basic, very simple for anyone. But let's talk about the people that are going to be coming on the next segment, okay?
Well, I brought two of my most favorite people. I just love the members at Westerly Fitness, and a lot of people that work in gyms will say that, but I really love them. They're amazing, and they're inspiring me to be more for them. And today we have with us one of my fellow Zumba team members, Ida Carpenter, and Ida is an amazing inspiration to a lot of people. A few years ago, she had a very serious condition where some kidney stones ruptured and she became septic. And a lot of bad things happened from that. And she was basically told that she would really never walk properly or again. And I remember her telling me a story, and she can correct me if I'm wrong later, but that the doctors came in and they found her on the floor crawling along the wall because she said, I'm walking. I don't accept that diagnosis. And just a few 2.5 years later, she's with us, won our second weight loss challenge. She's now a Zumba instructor. She's amazing, and she's just proved them wrong. And now she has been training with one of our contractors, Thrive Training, that works with us at Westerly Fitness, and she's training for a bodybuilding competition. It's taking it off her bucket list.
Wow.
It's just a great inspiration. She's a fabulous dancer, and I love having her on my team. And then there's Michelle Samatero. And Michelle is very, very special to me and to all of us at Westerly Fitness, because she is what Mike and I call the perfect training client, because she surrendered to the process. She came to us, after attempting to get fit on her own. She began her process in November of 2012, I believe, at 208 pounds. She's now 138 pounds. And she went from someone who was sedentary and shy about herself and kind of introverted and scared into an athlete. And she's now my training partner. And that says a lot, because I don't let anyone train with me. And I felt that when we celebrated our 1-year training anniversary, training-versary as we call it, it was time. Either do I keep training her like this, or do I bring her in and show her more and motivate her more? So I brought her in. I asked her if she'd like to be my training partner, and we work out 4 times a week on top of everything else that we do, just to keep that knowledge going and showing her what she can do to further her life. And it's just been an incredible, incredible experience for a lot of us.
Well, we're going to see her and who's it
Ida.
Ida do some basic things that anybody can do at home, provided you have your doctor's approval. But we'll take a break. Westerly Fitness, you want to give out a website?
Yes, we are at westerlyfitness.com, and we're located at 231 High Street in Westerly. And our number is 401-315-0115.
We will take a short break and come back with some demonstration for you. I'm Sean Murphy. This is For the Record. Stay with us. Welcome back to For the Record. Sean Murphy here with Annabelle Montalbano, wellness coordinator, also personal trainer, and we're going to experience some training right now. Very simple stuff. Anybody can do this at home. Annabelle, one thing we do want to mention, though, is, don't start anything before maybe you consult with a physician. You don't want to hurt yourself in any shape or form.
We really do recommend that anyone that that is thinking about starting any kind of a workout program or even a change in their diet should really have a full physical first, and depending upon the numbers that they come up with, together the doctor and the patient can determine where to go next. And at that point, you go to a fitness professional, hopefully, and then you let them know exactly what you've been through, and that way you can proceed with the right course of action.
So even though this is fairly simple stuff, it's still for demonstration purposes only until you get yourself out and all cleared. Let's introduce the people we were just talking about in the last segment, okay?
Yes. This is Michelle Cimetiero to my right over here, and Ida Carpenter, and we were just talking a little bit about their story, and Michelle has been one of the most inspiring success stories that we've had at Westerly Fitness, going from 208 pounds to 137 pounds, and
nice.
A full bona fide athlete, I am very proud to say. Ida Carpenter is another one of our great inspirational stories that we have at Westerly Fitness, and her whole story just motivates everyone and lets them know that there's never that last thought from a doctor. There's never that last thing. You can always do a little bit beyond if you believe in yourself and you have the right people surrounding you. And she really took her own health into her own hands and just came out incredibly on top. So I salute both of you.
Now, so we want to just kind of demonstrate some very simple things, and so however you want to start.
Okay, so what we're going to focus on today is just a couple of moves that will help the lower body. We're going to work on the front of the legs, the back of the legs, we're going to work on the butt, and a little bit on the core. And the moves that we're going to do today, you can do them anywhere, whether at home or if you're traveling and you're in a hotel room or you're visiting relatives and you want to get a little bit of workout in. These are things that you can do at home and require nothing but your own body resistance. So we're going to start with a basic squat. A squat is a great exercise because it really incorporates the entire leg. It is one of the best ways to have a shapely butt. And everybody, I don't care who you are, if you don't want a shapely butt, you're lying. I know you want a shapely butt, and I'm here to help you, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and come right up here, and the girls are going to just do a basic squat. So the stance is, you stand with your feet shoulder width apart, with both feet facing forward. If you turn your feet another way, it's another exercise.
Working a different muscle?
You're hitting different muscles.
Okay.
So the goal is to work each muscle group in different direction. The squat is very straightforward. This is just a straight squat. They're going to come down into a squat position, so go ahead and squat with your arms out, and then pull it on up. So what they're doing on the way up, go ahead and do 5 more, is that they're squeezing their glutes on their way up, they're maintaining their cores in and shoulders down and hips facing forward. 1 more, good. And when then they come up, you get that feeling that you work the front of your thighs, the back of your thighs, the glutes, and your core, because you have to hold yourselves up and you have to be very, very strong in your posture. You have your pelvic bone tilted in. You're not arching your back outward, because arching your back outward when you're doing squats can lead to pain in your lower back and damage in the future if you keep doing that. So the next move that we're going to do is you're going to take that squat and you're going to take it into a higher level. So it doesn't matter if you're brand new to it or if you're not new to working out. Putting your squat into different positions will give you different focus on different parts of each muscle. So they're going to do a squat into a kickback. So you're going to squat down and kick back the right leg. And at that point, come on down and kick up the left leg, and then back down again, right and down and left. So what they're doing in that position right there is they're coming down into a squat, and then when they come up, they're going to take the leg and bring it back, just a slight motion, and what they're hitting there is the hamstring and the glute a little bit deeper.
Okay.
So there's always room in any type of workout to combine muscle groups together to get a quicker workout and an effective workout. So the next step is going to be the squat again, but this time when they come up, they're going to kick the right leg up in front of them, and that's what I call the squat and toy soldier, like the nutcracker where they're coming out like this. That move is going to hit the quad a little bit deeper. So go ahead and squat, bring up the right foot, down and left. 2 more on each side. And now the core is being held in. They're nice and strong, shoulders are down. In that move right there, you can be in a very beginner position where you come down into the squat, and even if you bring your leg up only here, the quad immediately tightens. And if you have a strong core, you're coming down, standing up nice and tall, everything is working. And that is, the squat is probably one of the most effective exercises that you can do with weights or without to really help shape the lower body.
Probably without to start and then work your way up toward
Absolutely.
weights.
We do classes. There's a class that I teach. It's called Butts and Guts, and it's all butts and guts. And we use weights hardly in that class because there's so many things that you can do with your own body resistance that will allow you a good workout. If you want to take it to a higher level, start incorporating accessories.
Now, it's always best to try to work as many muscle groups together as possible. If you're only doing if you're doing isolation exercises, you're kind of like not doing yourself any favors, right?
No, there's many different ways to work out. When you're working out with weights, there's different things that you can do. I'm an old-fashioned workout girl. I love weightlifting, like it was done years ago, and I just happen to have a big love of that. And when I work out with weights, there are many times where we'll have one day where we'll do chest and back.
Okay.
Every exercise is going to be for the chest and the back. Or if I want to combine muscle groups, I'll do chest and biceps,
Right.
or back and triceps. With body resistance exercises, you want to save time. You want to be time efficient, and you want to be as efficient as possible with your body, and working out multiple groups like the squat. This squat, I'm working out the entire leg and all up here. Now, if I were to add, say, a broom, you take a broom and you put it on back of you like you're going to do squats. Now that's going to give you a whole different structure. Now your arms are up, so you're engaging your arms, you're engaging your shoulders, your back and your chest, and more of the core. So even adding a simple thing like a broom, or even adding a chair. Say this is a chair and you want to do a squat. You go on your tippy toes and you do a different type of squat. There's many different things that you can do. The next exercise that we're going to do is another great one to shape the entire leg and the glute as well, and that is a lunge. If anyone asks me, how do I get a very firm behind, I'm going to say squats and lunges. And that's right there. There's many different variations to the squat and the lunge is no exception to that. So the first one that they're going to do is a front lunge. They're going to take their right foot and extend it out into a lunge, then come back, stop, and go forward with the left foot, alternating lunges. Right foot, and then you bring it back, and then left, and bring it back. Do it again on both sides, and then the left.
Does this count as their workout for the day?
No.
No, not even close, huh?
No, we've already had our workout.
Okay.
Ida hasn't had her workout yet, though. This is more of a tiny little warm-up.
Yeah.
So the front lunge, what happens with that is that as you're coming down, you are working out the quad, extending out this quad, and pulling back, and the glute and the glute all become active. And because you have to hold yourself up, your entire core comes into place, the entire core. But what's great about the lunge is it helps to shape the entire thigh. So a lunge will work out the quad on top, the inner, the abductor and the adductor, and also the hamstring and the glute. So it is one of those multifunctional exercises. You take the lunge and you do a diagonal lunge, and you hit the inner thigh and outer even more. And a diagonal lunge, a great way to consider that is to have a clock around you. And you have 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9. You want to do a side lunge or a diagonal lunge in between the 12 and the 2. So you visualize the hand at 1 o'clock. And that 1 o'clock is your diagonal lunge. So why don't we do 2 at the right at 1 o'clock and then 2 at the left at 11 p.m. 11 o'clock. Come back, and now to the left, 11 o'clock on the clock. So if you visualize that, it's really easy. Now what you're hitting is different angles of the same muscles. Another good variation for a lunge is a back lunge. And that one you're actually taking a step back. So you want to move up a little bit and step back into a back lunge on the right. Feet together and back on the left. So you're just taking a step back, and now you're hitting everything in another different angle. You can do walking lunges where you actually will lunge, feet together, lunge, forward, feet together. Sometimes Michelle and I will do those lunges with different variations. You can have a Pilates ball, resistance ball, above your head, and it really creates more work on the core. You can take a 5-pound dumbbell and put it in front of you, and now you're engaging the core as you're walking. There's so many different things that you can do, and you can actually have items that you have at home. So say if you don't have anything but maybe a 5-pound bag of sugar or flour. Use those.
Yeah, that's weight. That's
It's
resistance,
a weight.
right?
It's a resistance weight, yes, and there's so many things that you can do with that. It's just a matter of reaching out to someone and asking, what do I do? It's important to go to a fitness professional,
Right.
because you want to have proper execution so you don't get hurt.
We are out of time.
It's been great.
Yeah, ladies, thank you so much. Appreciate it. You guys, great success story for both of you. So again, we applaud you. Thank you. Annabelle, the website one more time for people.
It's westerlyfitness.com.
Do we want to take one more break and come back, or are we good? Okay, we are out of time, so thank you very much. But we learned a lot today, and hopefully the biggest thing is that maybe we inspired some people to want
Hopefully.
to get involved.
I think having these two ladies here, if anyone can be at home watching this and think to themselves, you know, if they could do it, I can do it too. That's a huge, huge bonus for all of us.
Annabelle Montalbano from Westerly Fitness, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
That is our show for today. You can see this show and many others on our YouTube site. I'm Sean Murphy. This is For the Record. We will see you next time. Take care.